What's your excuse?
Oh, he giving me so many kisses. We need to have Bible study podcast.
A podcast Bible study.
We all
Papa, say hey.
The internet just witnessed something no one saw coming. Chrisean Rock walking into a church, baby in her arms, tears in her eyes, and for once, no cameras chasing drama. Just silence. Just peace. After months of chaos, viral fights, legal battles, and heartache, Chrisean did something completely out of character. She went to church. But this wasn't just any Sunday service. Witnesses say it felt like a redemption moment. A public surrender after one of the darkest seasons of her life. The viral clip, now seen over 12 million times, shows Chrisean dressed simply in jeans and a white hoodie, holding her son close as a choir sings in the background. She's not performing, she's not arguing. She's breaking down. One churchgoer told local media she came in quietly, sat in the back. But when the pastor started talking about forgiveness and healing, she stood up. You could see the pain leave her face. And when the pastor invited people to the altar, Chrisean walked forward, clutching her baby, and whispered, "I just want to start over." That moment has the entire internet in tears. But behind the tears and prayers, fans are asking the real question: what pushed Chrisean to walk through those church doors? Was it guilt, grief, or the weight of everything she's lost? Because according to people close to her, this wasn't a random visit. It was the beginning of something major. And if what insiders are saying is true, this church visit wasn't just about faith, it was a warning. For years, the world has known Chrisean Rock for her fire, not her faith. She was the girl who fought on red carpets, brawled on TV, and went viral every other week for all the wrong reasons. Her name became synonymous with chaos, pain, and heartbreak. But if you've been watching closely, there's always been something deeper behind her wildness. A kind of silent scream for peace that she never got as a child, as a teenager, or a woman in love. And that's what makes this new chapter so shocking. Because this time, Chrisean didn't show up to make headlines. She showed up to heal. People forget that before the fame and the fights, Chrisean grew up in one of the roughest parts of Baltimore. A broken home filled with addiction, violence, and survival. Her mother struggled, her father was in and out of jail, and Chrisean learned early that no one was coming to save her. By the time she hit her teens, she'd already lived through more pain than most people could imagine. Then came Blueface, the man who gave her love, attention, and pain all wrapped into one explosive package. Their relationship was like a car crash everyone couldn't look away from, toxic, loud, but undeniably real. For years, she defended him, fought for him, and lost herself in him. And when their baby was born, fans hoped it would finally bring peace. But instead, it brought more chaos. Court cases, public arguments, betrayals, arrests. Every week, another headline: Chrisean Rock loses control again. Blueface exposes Chrisean online. Baby caught in the middle. It was like the world had forgotten she was a human being. But lately, fans began to notice a change. Chrisean started posting less about drama and more about her son. She started sharing small moments, her singing to him, feeding him, smiling softly at the camera instead of yelling. It was subtle, but real ones could tell something was shifting. Then came the video that broke the internet: Chrisean walking into a church. It wasn't staged. It wasn't part of a reality show. No film crew, no bodyguards, no glam squad. Just her baby, and a tired kind of peace on her face that no makeup could fake. The clip showed her standing in the back row at first, rocking her son gently as a choir sang "Break Every Chain." The camera zoomed in. You could see her mouthing the words, tears forming in her eyes. And then, halfway through the song, she started walking down the aisle. Slowly, carefully, as if she was scared but determined. The pastor, an older black man with a calm voice, stopped mid-sermon and looked at her. "Sister, you came in carrying something heavy. God said it's time to put it down." That's when Chrisean broke. She covered her mouth and started sobbing, clutching her son like her life depended on it. She wasn't the loud, unfiltered girl from social media anymore. She was a mother, a survivor, a broken soul finally standing still long enough to be seen. People in the church began crying too. One woman from the choir stepped down and hugged her. Others followed. Someone filmed it on their phone. And that clip became the most shared video of the week. But what no one knew at the time was what led her there. According to people close to her, Chrisean had been spiraling behind the scenes, not in anger, but in loneliness. After Blueface's latest arrest and her public fallout with several family members, she found herself completely isolated. No label support, no friends she could trust. No one to turn to but her faith. A close friend told Hollywood Fix, "She's been crying out for something real. She said she don't want fame no more. She'll want peace. She told me, I don't even recognize myself no more. I want to find God before I lose my soul." That's when she started visiting small churches around Los Angeles, never posting, never announcing it, just sitting quietly in the back pews with her baby. The pastors noticed her right away. They said she'd often stay after service, talking softly about forgiveness and purpose. One pastor from Compton recalled, "She told me, I don't want to be angry no more. I want to be somebody my son can be proud of." And that's when everything clicked. This wasn't publicity. It was repentance. The internet, of course, couldn't stop talking. Some fans were skeptical, saying she was using God as PR. But most people, even her harshest critics, felt something genuine in her. The way she held her baby close. The way she couldn't stop crying. The way she whispered, "Thank you, Jesus," under her breath as the choir sang. Even celebrities started weighing in. Cardi B posted under a Shade Room clip, "This the type of growth we love to see. Ain't nothing wrong with turning to God when you lost." Proud of her. Gospel artist Tasha Cobbs Leonard reposted the video on her story, writing, "Grace looks good on her. God's not done with Chrisean Rock yet." And maybe that's the truth. Maybe we've been watching a redemption story this whole time, but too distracted by the drama to see it. Because what if this wasn't Chrisean changing for attention? What if it was her breaking free from everything that was killing her: fame, violence, pride, fear, and finally giving herself permission to heal? As one fan wrote perfectly under the viral video, "We've watched her fall apart on camera. Now we get to watch her rebuild." And that's the story, a woman who the world mocked, a girl who everyone wrote off, finally walking back into the one place that never stopped waiting for her: God's house. But the question now isn't just what happened that Sunday, it's what happened after. Because the people who were there that morning say that what took place when the cameras stopped rolling was even more powerful than what the world saw online. And it may have changed Chrisean's life and her son's future forever. When the viral video of Chrisean Rock crying at the altar spread like wildfire, fans thought they'd seen the whole story. But what happened after that moment was far more shocking than anything caught on camera. According to eyewitnesses, when the live stream ended and the crowd began to calm down, Chrisean stayed kneeling at the front for nearly 20 minutes, clutching her baby, whispering prayers under her breath. Church members said she was shaking, sobbing so deeply that even the pastor stopped the service, just to pray over her dot. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because what happened next wasn't just emotional, it was supernatural. Several churchgoers swore they saw something that gave them chills as the pastor prayed. Chrisean began to speak softly, repeating the same words over and over. "I let it go. I let it go. I forgive them all." The pastor, Reverend Marcus Hill, later told local reporters she said she was forgiving the people who hurt her. She didn't name names, but you could feel the pain in her spirit. It was like she was releasing years of anger right there at that altar. And then, out of nowhere, one woman who was there told Hollywood Fix, "It was so uncomfortable." Carlisa was yelling, and Chrisean just stood there holding her baby. You could tell she wanted to react, but she didn't. She just whispered something like, "Not today." Devil, instead of fighting back, like the old Chrisean would have, she quietly got into her car, kissed her son on the forehead, and drove off. The footage went viral instantly. For once, the internet wasn't talking about her being violent. They were praising her restraint. "That's growth," one fan wrote. Old Chrisean would have thrown hands. New Chrisean prayed instead. But that moment of peace didn't last long. A few hours later, Carlisa went on Instagram Live, calling the church visit a stunt. She accused Chrisean of using God to manipulate public sympathy and claimed she was hiding something big. She trying to clean her? Image Casino Blue getting out soon, Carlisa said. That girl don't care about church. She'll care about controlling the story. That accusation sent fans into a frenzy. Was Chrisean's faith real? Or was this another PR move to win the public back before Blueface's next court appearance? At first, Chrisean ignored it. But when Carlisa posted a screenshot of a message that read, "Tell her to stop playing with God," Chrisean finally broke her silence in a now-deleted tweet. She wrote, "You can't play with something that saved your life. I went to church because I needed peace, not attention. The devil mad because I stopped feeding him." That single line became a viral quote overnight. Fans printed it on merch, shared it on Reels, and turned it into motivational sound clips on TikTok. But the drama behind the scenes was only getting deeper. A member of the church later revealed that during her visit, Chrisean privately asked the pastor for a one-on-one prayer session after the service. And what she confessed left everyone in the room shaken, according to the source. Chrisean said she felt haunted by her past, that she couldn't sleep without seeing faces from moments she'd tried to forget. She said every time she tried to move on, something or someone from her old life tried to drag her back. The pastor reportedly told her, "That's not your enemies chasing you. That's guilt trying to keep you from healing." But Chrisean allegedly replied, "No, pastor. They really won't let me go." Those words terrified people, because not long after that conversation, her phone began blowing up. Hundreds of messages, threats, and cryptic dimes from fake accounts saying things like, "We see you in church now, and you can't pray away what you did." Chrisean's team believed the messages were coming from troll accounts connected to Blueface's inner circle. But others whispered that it could be family, even people from Baltimore who didn't want her telling too much. Things took an even darker turn when someone leaked a video of Chrisean at the church, filmed secretly from the balcony. In the clip, you can hear her voice breaking as she says, "I forgive everybody who hurt me, and I forgive myself too." But as she finishes speaking, someone in the crowd whispers audibly, "She lying?" The voice came from off-screen, but people swore it sounded exactly like her sister, Tessaki. Within minutes, fans started speculating. Did her own family follow her to church? Was someone trying to ruin her peace from the inside? Even the pastor commented later, saying, "We had people that came to that service not to pray, but to provoke. The enemy knows when deliverance is close." That quote spread like wildfire. The enemy became the internet's new obsession. Who was it? Blueface's mom, Tessaki? Or maybe people from Chrisean's past who didn't want to see her grow? By the end of the week, she posted a cryptic message on X. "The closer I get to God, the louder the demons get." And that's when the story took another shocking turn. Because 2 nights later, just as people were praising her transformation, a second video from that same church surfaced online, one that hadn't been seen before. This one showed Chrisean after the service standing outside near the church parking lot, speaking with the pastor's wife. Her baby was in her arms, wrapped in a blanket. You can faintly hear her saying, "Something followed me here. I felt it. I saw it in the mirror when I was holding him." The woman beside her puts a hand on her shoulder, whispering, "Don't be afraid. Sometimes deliverance shakes the ones who aren't ready to let you go." That clip went viral instantly. Millions of views. Thousands of theories. Had Chrisean just encountered a spiritual manifestation? Or was this just her trauma showing up in new ways? Whatever the truth, fans realized one thing. This wasn't just a story about fame, redemption, or forgiveness anymore. This was about a woman trying to outrun her demons, both literal and emotional, and whether she knew it or not. Walking into that church had awakened something powerful, something that wasn't about to let her walk away easily. By midweek, what began as a tender story of redemption had morphed into one of the strangest, most emotional viral sagas of the year. Every major outlet had picked up the footage of Chrisean Rock's transformation, the tears, the prayers, the baby on her hip. But just as the public began embracing her as a symbol of second chances, new details began to leak from inside the church, and from people who claimed to know the real reason she went there that Sunday at first. The story stayed simple. A woman who's been through hell finally found her way back to God. But then, members of the congregation started posting videos and testimonies of what they saw that day, and their stories didn't match what the public believed. A woman named Shanice Carter, who said she sat 3 rows behind Chrisean, made a TikTok that's now been viewed 8 million times. She claimed the energy in the room changed the moment Chrisean walked in. It wasn't no normal service, Shanice said. When she came in, it felt like the air got heavy, like something walked in with her. Even the choir started forgetting their lyrics. I've been going to that church 5 years, and I ain't never seen the pastor look that nervous. Her video was chilling, but what made it go viral was what she said next. When the pastor prayed for her, he started trembling. He told her, "You've got something attached to you that don't belong to you." And that's when she started crying. The internet lost its mind. Was it metaphorical? Spiritual? Something else entirely? Whatever it was, that clip fueled a wave of speculation. Deliverance TikTok blew up overnight, with pastors, exorcism experts, and armchair theologians dissecting every frame of Chrisean's church moment like it was a supernatural event. But what most people didn't know until now is that the pastor himself, Reverend Hill, recorded the entire private deliverance session that took place after the stream ended, and parts of that recording leaked at first. It was just a muffled audio file circulating in group chats. A few minutes of whispering, crying, and the pastor saying, "Release her. In the name of Jesus." But by Tuesday night, the full 11-minute clip hit Reddit. The first 5 minutes are just praying, soft, emotional, powerful. But then you hear something change in Chrisean's voice. Her tone drops. Her breathing grows ragged. And then she says, in a voice that barely sounds human, "They won't let me go." You can hear the pastor responding firmly, "Who won't let you go, daughter?" There's a pause, a long, awful silence before she whispers something that sent chills through everyone who listened, "The ones who made me famous." Those 6 words became the headline that broke the internet. Fans flooded comment sections with theories. Was she talking about Blueface? Her label? The reality TV producers who turned her pain into a paycheck? Or was this something deeper, something symbolic, or even spiritual? Within hours, hashtag "They Won't Let Me Go" was trending across Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. People started pulling up clips from old interviews, dissecting moments when Chrisean hinted at feeling trapped by fame. In one 2023 podcast, she said, "Sometimes I feel like I signed something more than a contract, like I sold my piece." Now, fans were wondering if she meant it literally. Even more disturbing, Reverend Hill released an official statement the next day confirming the audio was real, though refusing to elaborate. "Yes, I prayed over Ms. Rock," he said. "Yes, it was intense. What I can tell you is that she is battling not just worldly forces, but spiritual ones. The enemy doesn't like when a soul finds light after walking in darkness." That quote hit headlines everywhere. Some called it dramatic. Others said it was proof that Chrisean wasn't just fighting her trauma. She was fighting something supernatural. And if that wasn't enough, things got even stranger when a new video surfaced showing her returning to the church late at night 2 days later. Security footage, leaked by a church volunteer, showed Chrisean arriving around 1:45 a.m., still holding her son, barefoot, wearing the same hoodie she'd worn that Sunday. She stood outside the church doors for several minutes, pacing, Then she knelt on the steps, placed her baby down gently beside her, and began praying, whispering, crying, rocking back and forth. A church member who found her that night said she was trembling and speaking in fragments. She said, "They're still following me. I thought it was gone, but it's still here." She looked terrified. The church tried to control the story, but it was too late. Everyone had an opinion. One viral thread summed up the split perfectly. Half the internet sees a woman finding God. The other half sees a woman being haunted by her past, literally. Meanwhile, Blueface's mother, Carlisa, went live again, this time mocking the entire situation. She ain't possessed, she just guilty. She done a lot of dirt and now wanna blame demons. Nah, baby, that's your karma catching up. But then fans pointed out something bizarre. In the middle of her live, as she laughed and talked, a faint voice in the background, like an echo, whispered something that sounded like she's right. Viewers freaked out, clipping the moment, slowing the audio, boosting the volume. Thousands swore they heard a woman's whisper saying, "She's right, it's not over." Was it a coincidence, a glitch, or something far darker? Within hours, conspiracy pages were calling it the rock possession theory. They claimed that whatever spiritual darkness Chrisean released that Sunday had now attached itself to someone else. But here's where things turned deadly. Serious. According to church insiders, the morning after that eerie live, Reverend Hill's office was broken into. The only thing missing? His USB drive, the one containing the full footage of Chrisean's private session. No cash stolen, no damage done, just the drive. And later that day, someone anonymously emailed him a single sentence: "Stop trying to free what's already claimed." The pastor has since gone into protective custody, and Chrisean, she hasn't posted since her last Instagram story. A blurred photo of her baby sleeping on her chest had one cryptic caption: "Covered in blood, but not mine." No explanation. No follow-up. Now, fans are terrified. Some believe she's going through a real spiritual awakening. Others think she's unraveling under the weight of guilt, trauma, and exhaustion. But the most chilling theory yet, that she wasn't fighting her demons that Sunday. She was making a deal with them, because in her final live stream before vanishing, she said something that's now being replayed millions of times. "God said I had to lose everything before he gave me peace. I just didn't know peace would be this quiet." The screen glitched. The live ended. And just like that, Chrisean Rock disappeared again. 2 days after the leaked church audio swept across the internet, silence fell, not peace, but the kind that hums right before something breaks. Chrisean Rock's social media was still wiped clean. Her location unknown. And every outlet was scrambling to find out where she'd gone. Then, just when everyone thought it was over, a new video appeared, one that no one can explain. One that left even her critics speechless. At exactly midnight, an anonymous account posted a clip 2x titled "Sunday, Part 2. It was shaky cell phone footage taken inside the same church. The lights were low, the pews empty, but the camera was pointed at the altar. For 10 seconds. Nothing happened, and then a small child's laugh echoed through the empty room. The sound matched the laugh from Chrisean's baby during her first visit. And then, faintly, someone whispered, "She came back." The video cut off immediately. Within minutes, it spread like wildfire. Fans began analyzing the audio, claiming they could hear soft footsteps and someone breathing near the microphone. Others swore the voice belonged to Chrisean herself. Was she back at the church? Was the footage old? Or was someone trying to tell the world she hadn't left after all? An insider at the church, speaking anonymously, told Hollywood Fix that footage was real. Security caught motion inside the sanctuary after hours. "We thought it was an animal, but when we checked the cameras, the baby's cry was on the tape." By sunrise, people were camped outside that same Los Angeles church, praying, crying, filming TikToks, saying they could feel her spirit in the air. But that wasn't the end. At 9:14 a.m., the pastor's wife posted a photo of a Bible left open on the altar that morning. Inside was a handwritten note that said, "Tell them I'm safe. Tell them I found peace." The handwriting matched Chrisean's fans confirmed it instantly using old autographs and signed merch. The post went viral, with people split right down the middle. Some called it proof that Chrisean was alive and healing privately. Others called it a setup, claiming someone planted the note to quiet down the panic. Then, something even stranger happened. Blueface, silent for weeks, suddenly posted on his Instagram story. No caption. Just a black screen with a single white emoji. 10 minutes later. He deleted it. Reporters reached out to his team, but no one responded. TMZ caught footage of him outside his lawyer's office, refusing to comment. When asked if he'd heard from Chrisean, he simply said, "Some things ain't meant to be fixed on Earth." That sentence sent shockwaves through the internet. Then hours later, an anonymous account with the username @LittleRockFaith posted a short audio clip. A woman humming softly to a baby. The background noise matched the church acoustics perfectly. The caption read, "The baby's still here." The voice was undeniably Chrisean's, but here's the most chilling part. When fans isolated the background audio, you could hear faint singing. A choir, the same song from her first church visit, "Break Every Chain." Experts confirmed that the church hadn't hosted any service that day. So where was the music coming from? No one knows. The pastor has since shut down all services indefinitely, citing spiritual unrest and safety concerns. Reporters who tried visiting were met with locked gates and boarded windows. Locals say the church bell still rings at odd hours, even when no one's there. Meanwhile, Chrisean's baby was confirmed to be in the care of a close family member. No one will say who. Then, last night, something appeared on her official YouTube channel, which had been inactive for weeks. A new upload, unlisted but found by fans within minutes. The title, "Rock of Ages," the thumbnail, a glowing cross. The video itself, 10 seconds long, it showed an empty church pew, a single candle flickering on the altar, and Chrisean's voice whispering, "You can't lose when you've been found." Then it cut to black dot. The video vanished minutes later, but by then, it had already been downloaded, reposted, and dissected by millions. Some believe it's a message that Chrisean has retreated from the public eye to heal and live her life quietly with her son. Others insist the footage, the whispers, the strange church activity are all signs that something otherworldly is happening. But one theory stands out, a thread that's now gone viral across every platform. It claims the entire saga, the visit, the deliverance, the leak, the footage was part of a spiritual contract being broken. That Chrisean wasn't just saving herself. She was breaking a generational curse that haunted her bloodline for decades. The theory ends with one chilling line. When she said, "They won't let me go," she wasn't talking about fame. She was talking about her family. And now, no one knows where she is. No posts, no appearances, just whispers, rumors, and one final question that echoes through every corner of the internet: was Chrisean Rock saved or taken? Because last night at exactly 11:11 p.m., her official X account, verified and silent for weeks, suddenly reactivated, and it tweeted 3 words before vanishing again: "He found me." Then the account disappeared. No trace. No explanation, only silence and a flickering candle left burning in a locked church somewhere in Los Angeles. So now, everyone's asking, what really happened to Chrisean Rock? Did she truly find peace in God's house? Or did she stumble into something deeper? A spiritual battle between the person she used to be and the woman she's trying to become. Every piece of this story feels biblical, poetic, and terrifying all at once. A modern-day redemption story that's starting to look more like a mystery than a miracle, if the leaks are true. If the church really has footage no one's seen, if the pastor's missing USB holds the full deliverance tape, then this could be one of the wildest celebrity transformations ever documented. But until she speaks again, all we have are questions. Was Chrisean's silence her salvation, or her surrender? Did she walk away from fame to protect her son, or to keep him safe from something the world will never understand?